Like, as soon as the dog walked in the house, it was screeching. And Derek tried to kill me.
I'm not trying to kill you.
You tried to tackle me.
I don't think he tried to tackle you. I think he did tackle
I think
you.
he did tackle me. This is fair.
Well, technically, I was hiding from that cicada.
And he's like, well, why'd you take a picture with him? And I'm like, oh, well, and I like point over at Derek, who at this point, Derek's taking a picture with somebody else. I point at Derek and I'm like, well, my brother and I, like, we're on social media. Like, he's kind of TikTok famous. And he looks at me and he's like, TikTok? And I'm like, yeah. And he was disgusted. Speaking of us causing you problems, you have seemed to have taken up a problem with Katy and I's self-proclaimed healthy girl era.
Trust me, those are more words.
Derek, tell me how you feel about the app.
It's a scam.
Why?
It's a scam. They were attacking your censorship. Welcome to Baker's Banter. Earlier, I was a little bit confused.
Here's the thing, guys. Behind the scenes, we've been beefing.
Trust me, we've been beefing in my entire life.
Well, that's true, too. I mean, that's what siblings are for, right?
Well,
What did Derek tell Jack earlier? Or, well, Jack, you told Derek that what?
I told him I also have an older sister and a younger sister.
You said something else.
And they kind of get on my nerves a little bit, too.
And
welcome to my world, Jack.
then Derek said, Jack, I am so sorry that you have sisters.
But even though they get on your nerves, are you happy that you have sisters?
I'm so happy I have sisters. I love them.
Well, so am I.
At least he's admitting it now.
So am I. They are less worse of other siblings.
We don't have any other siblings.
So you're saying you could have it worse. We're better than Mark.
Trust me, Katy. You are Mark.
Oh, now you are Mark. Brutal. So, Derek got a little confused earlier. We typically record the weekly wrestling wrap up first, and then we record the Baker's Bantering podcast. And today we do have the siblings, no mom. So there's nobody here
here next week, though.
Check us when we get out of line. So who knows what's about to happen? Because we've been beefing all afternoon.
Trust me on that. You know what? I think you and Tess are way better sisters.
Okay, well, earlier you told Katy that she was a better sister than me, like less than 2 hours ago. So
Wow.
I think that,
It
that
ebbs
was
and
earlier.
flows.
that was earlier.
This is now.
This is now. You and Tess are my favorite. With Nia.
With Nia. Now we're bringing Nia back into the mix.
Yep.
Okay, so can we talk about the cicadas?
Sure, go ahead.
I want to give a little update. So luckily, the cicadas are eliminating themselves. They are dying. They are not quite as present as they used to be.
Yesterday, I checked my oil for the first time in like a month. Well, no, I've been checking my oil, but for the first time in a month, when I checked my oil, I opened my hood and there was no dead cicadas in there.
You check your oil every time you get gas?
Well, I have an oil leak.
That's
I don't
funny.
check my
Katy
oil.
got oil leak.
I don't do that.
Oil
Don't tell
leak.
Dad.
He's not listening.
He is.
I know he's listening. He'll text me.
He will.
And I'm not worried about it.
Dad, she got an oil leak.
He knows about that too.
Yeah, well, he's probably not going to be surprised when he finds this out. But no.
I wasn't checking my oil before that oil leak.
That's valid. Okay. I don't even know if I know how to check my oil. Don't tell him.
You just did.
Okay, I am not telling him that.
Don't tell him.
She just did.
I'm not.
I'll just ignore his text when he texts me about it.
Just block his number.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That is
He
bad
won't
idea.
even know.
That is
Okay,
definitely a bad
no, but
idea.
the cicadas really they're starting to die off. One of my friends who lives in California just booked a trip and she's coming at the end of the month. And I'm very excited to see her. And she was like, but you better get rid of the cicadas before then. I was like, luckily for you, I think you'll be okay.
I was gonna like make a little announcement that I didn't like see any cicadas yesterday, but then one got in the house.
Yeah, so one did get in the house yesterday, but I swear it
Although
had to
that-
have
that
come
one-
in on the one of the
Speaking
dogs.
of that,
That one offed itself too because I picked it up with a napkin, threw it out the door, and it hit the ground, and then Josie ate it.
I think it had to have come in with the dog.
Maybe.
Like, as soon as the dog walked in the house, it was screeching. And Derek tried to kill me.
I'm not trying to kill you.
You tried to tackle me.
I don't think he tried to tackle you. I think he did
I
tackle
think
you.
he did tackle me. This is fair.
Well, technically, I was hiding from that cicada,
I don't know what you thought me being between you and the cicada was really going to do.
and I was trying to give it a chance not let it come to me.
He's like, I'd rather it hit you in the face than me.
I'd rather it hit you in the face than me too.
Because you're my sister,
And I needed to protect you.
and you need to protect me.
That's what older sisters are for.
Oh, you're such a little baby.
Tell that to Dominic.
Okay, so I did pull some comments from the cicada video because your cicada incident did go pretty viral on TikTok and Instagram.
I'm shocked.
Well, I guess people relate to the cicada drama, you know?
I certainly relate.
I relate. It was kind of a mixed bag, actually, because there was a lot of people who relate, and there's a lot of people who are like, what the heck's a cicada? And have never heard of a cicada and had to look it up because we were talking about
Well,
cicadas.
clearly they don't live in St. Louis.
I know. Lucky
because
them.
not only will you have heard of them, but you would have heard them.
Heard them, seen them, gotten hit in the face by them, got splatter windshield on your car. All of the above. Okay.
Mating
so,
on your shoulder.
Yeah. So here's one. This is from Michelle.
Definitely living nightmare.
Michelle said, I agree. They are evil. They attack the weed trimmer, making me a crazy weed whacker cicada killing freak.
You know what? Thank you. Be on my side.
Thank you for killing the cicadas. Derek appreciates that. Nikki D said, same. Luckily for us in Middle Tennessee, they are almost gone. Since they come out of the ground, I am sure they come from hell to torture us.
They are.
I thought they came out of the trees.
They definitely come out of the ground.
Mm.
They come out of the ground. They crawl to the tree. They leave their carcass in the tree or around the tree. They create pods to live in the tree, but they come out of the ground.
Okay.
There's actually so my next door neighbor is an older man, and I do his trash for him. And for whatever reason, he's the only house on our street that doesn't have a driveway. So he keeps his trash cans in the very back of his house by his deck. So it's just kind of tough for him to like pull the trash cans all the way around. You got to use 2 hands to open the gate. He uses a cane, whatever. So I do his trash for him. And when they first started really coming out, I walked into the backyard of David's house to put the trash cans away one day. And it literally looks like the ground's been aerated. There are just dots, these little dots, like about the size of a dime, all over the place where cicadas had come up out of the ground.
Weird.
Yep. So Captain Hammer, oh, I like this. This would be hilarious, except for not really, because you would be dangerous. Derek needs a flamethrower. Teach them a lesson.
Whoa. Okay, I do like that, the flamethrower all the way.
Oh my
Flamethrower.
God. Derek's in for the flamethrower. So this
Can
one
you
was
imagine to do that in wrestling?
no, that sounds dangerous
Yes.
for sure.
Yes, Darby Allin got a flamethrower.
So this
and
one
it
was,
burns like pair to pieces.
this is from Jen, which was kind of funny because TikTok does filter some comments. Like it automatically will filter out comments that it thinks are like maybe rude or inappropriate. And then I can go in and either approve or decline the comment. And this one says, penalty declined on the F-bomb. Because you said this cicada scared the F out of you.
I did say that.
And so she said, penalty declined. It's all good. You throw that F-bomb.
I will throw that F-bomb.
This person says,
That's definitely pop bomb right there. Shout out to you, CM Punk.
I think you're going to agree with this person. This person, it's not just a dispatcher as the handle. Their son said, cicadas may not be able to physically hurt me, but they are mentally terrorizing me.
Kid, I am so sorry.
Do you agree?
They are the worst, like turkeys.
Okay. Brittany McCormick says, I mean, I don't blame Derek. Ain't no way I'm going outside. It's a war zone with the cicadas.
Next time I go outside, I'm going to bring my flash water. Or better yet, a flamethrower.
Better yet. 1000% me. I am with you. It's like living on the set of a sci-fi movie.
Sci-fi.
Like if they were little aliens. They're kind of like our little aliens running around.
Yeah, I agree with this one. This one.
I agree.
It's like, it is like living on the set of a sci-fi movie.
I agree.
Not even on the set of the sci-fi movie, but being in the sci-fi movie.
Yeah, that's valid. Diane said, I feel you, Derek. I am going to put one of our beekeeper hats on next time I mow. I think we should get you a beekeeper hat the next time the cicadas come out. You know what a beekeeper hat looks like?
I don't know what a beekeeper is.
It's got like the net around your face.
Ain't nothing coming in there.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
Speaking of beekeeper, I got stung by a freaking hornet last weekend.
Twice.
It
She was very upset about it.
terrible.
And Chris did not give her the empathy
Please
she
tell me
deserved.
there's no hornets.
Oh, Chris took care of them. There's no hornets anymore.
We killed the hornets.
They came in the night.
But I found
when they
out
were
the
least
hard way that we
expecting
had
it.
a hornet problem.
Please tell me we're not getting the hornets here.
No, well, I mean, you could, but Dad would have to just take care of them. So they were building a nest at my house.
Oh, God. Please don't bring that up.
And I was...
Stop bringing it up. I'm begging you. Don't
I
do it.
said, thank God that hornet's nest wasn't as big as the one at that cabin.
No. Well, so they were building a nest in the railing at our house. Like the railing
That like is at the sidewalk leading up to their front door.
Yeah, it's like a wrought
Maybe
iron.
You need a flamethrower.
Well, I got a
I bet that would have
bug spray
worked.
thrower that killed them.
I think a flamethrower would probably work.
I was outside watering my plants. It was kind of dumb because I totally noticed them. Like I went outside to water my plants and I see these hornets and I'm like, that looks like a problem because they were crawling in and out of this little hole. Like there should be a bolt where they were crawling in and out, but the bolt's clearly been lost.
Did you touch it?
Well, I didn't touch it intentionally.
It touched her.
I saw it and I'm like, they look like they're like really busy in there. Like maybe they're building something in there. That looks like a problem. And then I had my watering can and I went to the other side of my house and I watered all the plants on that side of the house. And by the time I came back to the side of the house where I had noticed the hornets, I was watering the rose bushes on that side of the house and I had forgotten that I saw the hornets. And I had my watering can in one hand and my phone in the other hand. And all of a sudden, I had this horrible pain on my elbow. And I threw both things. Luckily, I didn't throw the watering can on top of my phone because that would have been a disaster. But I dropped the watering can. I dropped my phone. I swatted at my arm. And there was a freaking hornet. And I had 2 little welts on my arm. It was very strange. I haven't been stung in a really, really long time. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, maybe... I think the last time I got stung, I was like in 6th grade camp or something. And it freaking hurt. And I almost cried. Like,
Well, and I feel like hornets and wasps are worse than bees and stuff.
yeah, like I had never experienced pain like that. And it was brutal.
Oh, man.
And I almost was crying. And I was almost like making fun of myself because I'm like, are you really going to cry about the freaking hornet stinging you right now? Like, is it really that bad? But it was really that bad. Like, it hurt. But the rest of the day, the spot on my arm where it stung me was scalding hot. In comparison to my other arm. Like there was easily a 10 to 15 degree difference.
Wow.
Between my 2 arms.
To the touch, yeah.
It was brutal.
Not only did Jenna have a hornet problem, but Jenna also has a chigger problem.
I know. I was going to say last week Katie was having an itching problem and this week it's my turn.
Yeah, well, at least your problem isn't because your body is betraying you.
No, but my home is.
Yeah.
I know.
If I was you, you should pack everything up, like every abroad, especially stuff for bigger better, and move out and find a different home.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of,
That'd be an expensive solution.
if you watched the podcast last week, I severely apologize for my demeanor.
Okay, well, in Katie's defense, Katie tried to get out of doing the podcast last week, but I had already planned for her to be a part of multiple conversations, and I didn't know she was going to try to get out of the podcast. And she had popped 2 Benadryl before the podcast, so by the end of the podcast, she was having a hard time keeping her eyes open.
Luckily, I wore a hat.
Luckily, you had a hat on. You really couldn't tell, but I knew.
Yeah, well, when I just had a blank stare on my face and Derek was saying rude shit about me and I made absolutely no,
Response,
that was because I was over here sleeping. So.
Okay, well, I did spend 20 minutes on the phone with the bug guy today, and they're going to come out to my house on Thursday and take a look at the problem. And here's the thing. Dad and I have been arguing, and I keep saying I have a chigger problem, and Dad keeps arguing with me, telling me that it's probably not a chigger problem and that doesn't make any sense. And today I talked to the bug guy for 20 minutes, and let me tell you, he was stumped. Because the bites I was describing to him being on my person, he agreed sound like chigger bites. But the environment that I have at my house, he was like, this doesn't make any sense for them to be chiggers. And he was very stumped. And I was like, listen here, bug man, buddy. I'm not surprised that you're stumped because we've had nothing but problems since we moved into this house. And every single thing we have tried to fix has ended up being a bigger problem than it was supposed to be.
Maybe your house is haunted or something.
Our house is like a dud. I don't know. It's like
But milk duds are really yummy.
It's like the lemon. What do they call it?
The car. A lemon.
Lemon. We've got the lemon of a house. I can't even tell you the number of contractors who have had to come back to our house, and then they ferociously try to apologize to me for messing something up, and then I have to tell them that it's probably not them, it's probably the house. I had this one contractor come. We got installation put in the ceiling, or insulation. I keep calling it installation. Insulation put upstairs in the attic, and it got put in one day, and by the next morning there was insulation coming from the attic through the middle part of the main level of the house somehow, snowing into the basement. Just all over the place. They put it in the attic, and it was coming out in the basement. And so I have to call the guy, and I'm like, I don't really know what happened, but there's insulation all over the basement. And they come back.
Snow in your basement?
It looks like snow. It's like it kind of looks like a cloudy white material. It's actually kind of like pink, but it's what they use. So they use.
Did you make a snow angel?
Yeah, there wasn't that much, thankfully. But the guy comes back and he was so apologetic. He's like, I have never had this problem before. I've been doing this for 15 years, yada, yada. Like, he's so apologetic and so embarrassed that this has happened. And I'm like, listen, buddy, I don't think it's you. I think it's the house. It's just really, it's not a you problem. And now the current problem that we are dealing with is the chiggers. And I am incredibly itchy right now at the moment because of it.
Well, another thing about their house that I noticed the other day, so Dad's working on their basement right now, like getting framing up and stuff so that they can do walls. And their basement floor is so uneven. It's literally as uneven as a 2x4. Because he had to stack 2 2x4s on top of each other to like even out the framing, because at the center part of the basement like caves so much compared to the outside. I was flabbergasted.
Yep. Yeah.
And you don't notice it until you have something straight like a 2x4 to show you like, yeah, this is a problem.
It's literally that big of a difference, a 2x4. Yeah, well, that's just not surprising. It is what it is. We've just accepted it at this point. So moving on back to the cicada comments. This is from Jim Adkins. Well, guys, let's form a posse. There's a good man being harassed by some godforsaken cicadas, and something needs to be done. We ride at dawn. Derek doesn't even get it.
I demand a ride around dawn.
They're gonna. He's saying like, let's form a group. Let's ride at dawn. Let's go to war for this guy. Let's take care of these damn cicadas for our buddy Derek.
Thank you. I'm gonna arrive. I will arrive at dawn.
This one was just a compliment to Mom, and I do have to say, but I think Mom handled it very well. She was very supportive of your fear of cicadas, but also very encouraging to you. And Augie said, "Wow, Mom, wherever you are, you just became my hero. The way you handled that was flawless. I stand in awe." So shout out to Mom, because Mom did handle it really well. Of course, Mom handled it like a champ, and Dad antagonized you. Are we surprised?
Nope.
I'm not surprised for that.
No.
Nope.
And Duvall Jag says,
Dad. You know, Dad is he'd always get under my skin.
yeah, he likes to do that. Me too. All three of us. So this is hilarious, Derek. I think you got to really consider this idea. Duvall Jag says, so Derek is, are you ready? This is a good one. So Derek is going to dress as a cicada for Halloween this year, huh?
Pass.
That would be
Yeah.
quite the frightening costume.
That'd be so funny. All right. I think that's all of them. Oh, wait, here's one more. Trucker's wife says, Derek, I am in Southern Illinois, an hour from St. Louis, and I am totally with you. Creepy, crunchy, loud flying bugs are a no-no. Thankfully, at my house, my geese, ducks, and chicken keep them under control, but our daughter has them all over her house, and it creeps me out. We need a cicada party when they leave. Would you like that party?
Long there's cake, I'm in.
As long as there's cake, I'm in. And Vicky says he's spot on. It's a hard no if those devil bugs are out screaming.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
So,
What's it more worse? Cicadas or Katy Baker's like to talk?
Katie Baker's what?
Like to talk?
Well, that is just so rude.
That is so rude. What
I
did
like
I do to you?
to talk to Katie Baker. All right, now you're just being rude. All right, so let's talk about, we went to the Cardinals game last week.
We did.
And what did we get to do?
Who'd you meet?
We just meet this lovely young man.
Remember his name?
Is it Mason?
Mason Wynn.
Mason Wynn, he is the shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals.
He's awesome.
He was very nice. You got to hang out with him.
Guess what?
What?
That week, there's no wrestling interference for you.
Oh, yeah. Luckily for Derek, we were invited to the Cardinals game on a Thursday night.
Thursday.
So we didn't have any problems where Derek wanted to watch wrestling while we were supposed to be watching the Cardinals game.
Yep.
Yeah, lucky you. So we did
Lucky
get to go
me.
on the field. We shout out to our new friend Billy. He invited us, and we made some
He's
other new
awesome.
friends, DJ and Matt. DJ had a mullet.
He did.
And
Represented Dominic Mysterio. For
Daddy
sure.
Dom.
yeah.
Daddy, yeah.
We did see our friend Carrie Robinson.
Oh, fun.
We were walking down under to head out to the field, and I'm like, Mom, is that Carrie? And he turns around, and he's like, oh my gosh, hi. It was so exciting. Carrie Robinson is a former Cardinal player. He is now a recruiter for the Cardinals, but he, at one point, actually, Mom worked with him.
That is true.
And that is how we know him. He looked at me and he said, I can't believe you're like a real adult. And I said, Carrie, I'm 30. And he was like, ugh.
Did you say my sister teaches high schoolers?
Yeah, it was
The baby of the family.
So, oh my gosh, this was so, I felt really bad about this. So in the section in front of us, there was this foul ball that came, and it was so strange because it kind of looked like it hit this woman, but the way the woman reacted, it didn't seem like she reacted at all. Like if it would have hit me, I would have been like toppling over, like grabbing my head, like flailing in some capacity, if not yelling. And she like didn't move. So the person she was with, like he reacted, And he was like looking at her and like moving her around and like checking her and stuff, but like she just didn't move. She didn't react. So we're sitting there and we're like, did it hit her? Did it not? Like, what happened? And then an usher from the Cardinals went down to check on her, and when she walked out, it hit her. There was a knot off her head that was easily maybe half an inch is an exaggeration, but minimum a quarter of an inch off her head. Like, huge knot off her head just in the minutes from when it hit her to when they were escorting her out, and she never came back. And she had this massive knot on her forehead. I was like, that is brutal.
Okay, but how do you get hit in the head with a foul ball? Like, pay attention.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure it's easy to get hit in the head by a foul ball. Look at your phone. That's probably how most people get hit in the head by foul balls. They're looking at their phones. You know how Dana got hit by a puck at a Blues game once?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I know, and she wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, and she didn't even have a phone then.
Mm.
So that was brutal. But it was a good game.
Really hoping she is okay.
Hopefully she's okay.
I do hope she's okay. I'll tell you what, she definitely had a headache. That's for darn sure. It was very cool to meet Mason when we did get to hang
He's
out
pretty
with
cool
some
guy.
of the...
I gotta admit it. Mason is super cool.
It was pretty cool. So, okay. I wouldn't tell Katie this story until the podcast. I hope it's as funny to you guys as it was to me in the moment, but let's hope I can give it the correct delivery, because it was freaking hilarious to me when we were leaving. So we're leaving, and Derek gets stopped, and he's getting asked to take photos. And then this guy comes up, and this is a big dude, like easily
Bigger or smaller than Andrew?
Skinnier than Andrew, but could have been as tall as Andrew. Like he was,
Beanpole.
yeah, but he definitely had the build of a basketball player. Like he was very ripped also. And he was so excited to see Derek. And then he was excited to see me too. So he was like a real Baker-Banter fan. Mega fan. And he asks us to take a picture. And then he says to me, he's like, no, I want you in this picture too. Like, come over here. So Derek and I take a picture with him. And by the time...
He didn't want mom in the picture?
He didn't ask for mom in the picture. He asked for me and Derek in the picture. So Derek and I take a picture with him. His friend's snapping a picture of us. He is just so excited. Like, he's got this big old smile on his face, whatever. And by the time, he's stepping away, I kind of step to the side because at this point somebody else is approaching Derek. And when I step away, this other man looks so excited. And he taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around, and he's got this huge smile on his face, and he's like, who is that? And points at the guy who had asked us to take a picture. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, I don't know who he is. And he's like, well, why'd you take a picture with him? And I'm like, oh, well, and I like point over at Derek, who at this point, Derek's taking a picture with somebody else. I point at Derek, and I'm like, well, my brother and I, like, we're on social media, like, he's kind of TikTok famous. And he looks at me and he's like, TikTok? And I'm like, yeah. And he was disgusted. Like, he couldn't believe that was all that was happening in front of him. He thought for sure this guy was some sort of like elite athlete.
Was good.
He absolutely thought this guy was like an elite athlete. And when he realized that this guy actually wanted to take a picture with me and Derek, he was appalled.
Let's see that guy try to get some followers.
And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Mom's like, what did he say to you? And he's like, he thought that guy was famous, and he was appalled when it was me and Derek. It was so funny. He was just like, he looked at Derek and he looked at me, and he did not even attempt to hide his judgment. He was disgusted.
It was like those nasty influencers.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, TikTok. After this guy was appalled that we were TikTokers and that we were the one that were getting asked to take photos, this other guy was super excited to see you, and he came up to me and he gave me a hug, and then he gave Mom a hug, and he goes, "You're the best sister." He says this to me, and then Mom said that he goes to Mom, he goes, "You're the best mom ever," and he points at Derek and he goes, "I know he can be a little asshole sometimes."
He got that right. Like when you said, what did you say?
Oh,
What
and
what did he say
listen.
about me? I forgot. Now he's flipping me off. But when he was like,
"You're being a little
"You're
asshole."
worse," like Katie's talking. What did he say? The cicadas. He compared the cicadas and my talking.
Oh my God, Derek, it was funny. It was so
Asshole
funny.
moment.
So Derek, we did have a little bit of an issue earlier, and you got a little worked up, and you went into the bathroom and you had a conversation. You were talking to Tess O'Malley, yeah?
Yeah.
And Tess O'Malley is your imaginary sister.
Yep.
I want you to walk me through this so that our followers can understand, like, why do you talk to your imaginary siblings to help you process your big feelings in those moments? Like, how does it help you?
It helps me a lot, for sure. If you have anyone like that, like Tess, like Mark, like Ryan, or
These are all your imaginary siblings.
Nia, they'll always be there for you.
So,
And earlier during almost a Ricky Racer wrap up, Tess was there to calm me down, and she told me, "You got this. You can do it. I believe in you." All that jazz, and from now that I'm starting to feel better, and I did.
yeah, because people ask a lot about your imaginary siblings, and I think that this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what I feel how you use your imaginary siblings is to help you regulate your emotions.
It's like he's having his inner dialogue externally, and instead of
Yeah.
considering it to be his own thought, he's giving it to a personality that he's created.
Right. Does that sound right?
Probably.
Yeah. It's like in my head, I might think like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you need to calm down. We got to move on with our day. We got to, we can overcome this. It's not, don't let this email get you down, or don't let this bad comment ruin your day. And with you have a conversation out loud with Tess, who is your imaginary sister, and Tess tells you, "Derek, it's going to be okay. Derek, it's not something that we need to get worked up about. You just need to take a deep breath, go back in there, get it done." Is that kind of how it goes?
It's kind of like that, yes.
Okay, so when sometimes people are a little confused about your imaginary siblings in our comments. So if somebody were to say that they think it's weird that you have imaginary siblings, or that we shouldn't let you talk to imaginary people, what would you say to those people?
Okay, if those people are complete wrong, they are ridiculous thinking of that, but they are wrong thinking of that. Having a imaginary siblings is a version like human siblings like Jenna and Katy. So,
And your imaginary siblings cannot do you wrong.
Do they help you?
they help me a lot, yes.
I guess Mark did do you wrong.
Well, because he decided that. They help you. They help you deal with your problems.
Yes, like you guys do all the time.
Yeah. They help you deal with the problems that we created. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just like that. And sometimes Tess and I to talk about mom and dad all the time, and also you too.
Yeah.
So you
about
talk
your
shit
family.
to your imaginary siblings? Is that what I'm hearing? You know what they say, talk shit, get hit. I'm just messing.
Should we move on?
I like to move on.
Okay.
before I flip her
Well,
off again.
speaking
You
of
said it was the last time last time.
speaking of us
Exactly.
So you got to refrain.
Speaking of us causing you problems, you have seemed to have taken up a problem with Katie and I's self-proclaimed healthy girl era.
Trust me. Those are more words.
Derek, tell me how you feel about the app.
It's a scam.
Why?
It's a scam. They were attacking your sausages.
They were attacking my sausages. They said,
Your sausages. I was like, what did he say?
they
They
said,
were attacking
they
him.
said this is 20 grams of fat and you only want 60 grams of fat a day.
Okay.
Like, be careful. And I was like, dang, like the sausage is not very healthy. And Derek was not very happy.
Derek was pissed because he likes sausage.
Mhm.
Sausages are good.
Mm-hmm.
Sausages get a lot of protein
No.
into it.
Two
But then-
sausage patties was less than 10 grams of protein.
Oh, that's pathetic.
But
My damn probiotic is 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that app is just wrong. If I'm so bad right now, you should ban that app.
Here, let me quote him really quick.
Oh, I
For
have
what-
it. I
Oh,
have
you
it
have
right
them?
here. Think about it. Tells you to work out more and eat healthy. It's calling you fat. That's a scam. Think about it.
Yep, that's what Derek told me. Saturday morning. When I made him sausage and pancakes, it's not like I made like frickin' chicken and rice.
There's protein pancakes, right?
They were protein pancakes, yeah.
The pancakes are fine.
So, what did you think about the spaghetti squash?
That's just something else right now.
Was it better before or after it came out of its
Shell.
home? Its shell.
Well, first of all, the stuff into the shell, that I don't like.
But once we took it out of the shell,
But when you take it out, it's fine.
It was pretty good, wasn't it?
It was good.
needed more sauce.
It was good. It was spaghetti squash was a little bit dry, so
It just needed a little bit more sauce. We didn't get the ratio right.
We'll do better next time.
maybe it needs more.
The other quote
Those
you
meatballs were pretty good.
The meatballs were fire, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
meatballs
I
were
might
fire.
not do that again.
the other quote that you sent me from him dissing your app was, "It's your funeral right now. That app is trying to take over your life. Don't let it."
I did say that.
I think you're being dramatic.
I'm not being dramatic. It's freaking scam.
See, here's the thing. We're not really trying to be on like a diet. We're not really trying to be super restrictive. We're trying to be more aware of our choices so that we are making better choices for our bodies so that we can feel better, feel more energized in our bodies. It's a positive thing that's happening here.
Well, I don't care. It's a scam.
And the app just helps us relate what we're eating to what it's made of, right? Because
Well, that app is
I can
wrong.
eat 2 sausage patties
Don't
and think
listen
it's
to
healthy, or I could log 2 sausage patties and get told this is 20 grams of fat and less than 10 grams of protein.
That app is taking over this family. I hate it.
He also was not happy. It was Saturday, I believe. And so we had a late lunch or a late breakfast. Like we were eating the sausage and the pancakes at noon. Okay. And then he's like telling me that he wants to go to Wingstop for lunch. And I told him, you know, Derek, like I'm not planning to eat lunch because I ate
a late
breakfast
breakfast.
at noon.
Just an afternoon snack.
But if you want to have like a frozen dinner, that's fine. And then he was saying that we should go out for dinner, and I said I'm making tacos for dinner. And at that point, I'd already had the chicken on in the crock pot. And he's like, "Well, what about Taco Bell? Like you did say you want to have tacos for dinner. What about Taco Bell?" And I was like, first of all, that's rude because my tacos are going to be better. Second of all, I said, go check out in the kitchen to the right of the sink. He goes, he looks, he's like, "Oh, is that for dinner?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like, don't you think that's probably related to dinner?" He's like, "Yeah." And then
Because it was the crock pot.
because it was the crock pot, so obviously like I was making something
And
for
that's
dinner.
the reason why I'm gonna eat out this week.
And then he walked away and he goes, I have not eaten out in so long. This is bullshit.
I did say that for sure.
Derek, 2 weeks in a row, you ate Chick-fil-A for lunch and dinner on a Tuesday.
That's true.
You had Chick-fil-A for lunch today. It's not like you never get to eat out. We're just trying to make better choices.
Well, it's not fair for me. Okay.
He said I did not choose
So
to be
the-
in my healthy girl era. That's what he was saying.
He said, I don't want to be a part of your damn era.
No, he said
Exactly what I'm saying.
no. He said I don't want to be a part of your damn area. That's what he said.
Well,
and
that's
then
true. He meant era.
he meant era.
Derek, I think it's good for you. You got a little bit of a belly on you.
Enough.
You could be a little bit more lean.
We could make those workouts you've been doing with Special Olympics go that
Okay,
much
you
further.
make your point. Knock it off.
Okay.
Well, Derek, how do you think that the WWE stars get into such good shape?
I am working on that.
Do you think Dominic Mysterio eats Chick-fil-A twice a day?
I am not gonna title late for that one.
I'll text him and ask. I
So
bet the
Derek,
answer's
do
no.
you
Not.
do you support Jenna and I in our healthy girl era?
Well, you guys do you.
But
Like-
what about when we have to make you dinner?
You guys do you. You may be little girl healthy area. That's fine. Only I'm gonna do is take care of eating out.
How are you going to eat out if nobody takes you there? You ain't got a car. You don't drive.
Oh, Derek, tell Jenna about how you brought Taco Bell to you.
That's right.
That's right.
That is right. I did make a quesadilla.
A meatball quesadilla.
It was very good.
Hey, Katie made chicken tacos. They were better than Taco Bell, and you got to eat more
okay,
of
that's
them.
bullshit.
Derek, those buffalo chicken tacos were good.
They were so good.
I'd agree with that. That is good. Not way better than Taco Bell. Like Taco
Better
Bell.
for you, 100%. That my tacos were better than Taco Bell. I bet Jenna would say the same.
Yes.
We also fed Sam. We also fed Dana. And we also fed Ryan. And I think all three of them would probably agree.
Especially for the amount I was able to eat for the amount of calories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, but you did admit that the spaghetti squash was good. And the
That was okay.
and the tacos were good.
Those are good for sure.
And what about Mom's pasta last night?
that was the best.
So we're in our healthy girl era, and you're liking the meals that we've been giving you.
Only the meals are accepted. That is totally fine.
He just doesn't like that we won't go out to eat with him as much as we used to.
Mhm.
That's
But
what
we
he's
ate
mad
out
about.
Well,
too
that is
much.
bullshit.
Just ask Chris.
Bullshit.
We definitely eat. We used to
That-
eat out too much. That was our
That's
biggest
the
problem.
reason why I'm gonna eat out the rest of the week.
Derek,
You're not going to eat out the rest of the week.
Bullshit.
I'm going out to dinner tomorrow night and you're not invited.
We're going to go out on Friday.
Well, there's shakeups.
Yeah.
Now it's real. We are going to the cabin. I will finish with my Derek's junk food era.
Derek's junk food era.
Junk food era.
Derek does not need a junk food era.
Too
No,
bad.
Derek needs to get on our healthy girl era board.
Not happening.
Hey,
Ryan and Chris are both in.
Chris is in. Chris is all for the healthy girl era.
Ryan's been loving the healthy girl era.
Chris-
I've been making him great
Chris,
meals.
Jones and Ryan have to man up.
Chris told me that Derek needs to man up because he won't accept the healthy girl era.
No, Chris told you that Derek needed to be more comfortable with his masculinity.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Because he won't enter the healthy girl era with us.
No. I will stick my own healthy era. Not yet. Because I am in the junk food era.
I think with time he'll get on board.
Well, he has no choice.
Okay, so I have
You
one
don't
more
have no
question, and then we got to wrap this up. So you did a test last week.
Poop in the box.
Okay. This is personal. Let's not talk about it.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk
I am
about
not
it.
ready for it. not ready.
Oh my God. You told me we weren't going to talk about it last week, but we would talk about it this week.
On the 27th. 27th. August 27th.
August! That's 2 months away.
That is perfect. Leave it at that.
Okay, can we revisit it next week
No,
with Mom?
not with Mom.
Dang, you're just going to leave him hanging like that?
Poop in the box.
For now.
Was it easy?
But I will give you updates on it. It was good. And that's all I'm going to say. It's good.
Were you proud of yourself?
Yes.
Did you put it in the mail or did somebody come pick it up?
Someone picked it up.
Someone pick it up.
Hmm.
We'll just leave it out there and we'll
You know my
revisit
friend.
on August 27th.
You know my friend had to take a poop test the same day.
Well, that's cool. Let's talk about it on
August 27th.
August 27th. Got it.
Is
All
August
right.
27th a Tuesday?
Who knows?
Did you
Probably
do the
not.
math?
Yes. It's on Tuesday. We're good.
It is a Tuesday.
Derek, you're so funny.
Did you look at a calendar?
I did.
You're so funny.
He said,
bro.
I should be ready to talk about it by then.
That's 2 months from now. You're not even going to remember what
I'm
happened.
pretty sure I will remember.
You didn't even remember we were doing the weekly wrestling wrap up first today.
Well, that is way more different.
Oh my God. All right. All right. That's all we have time for today.
Okay, Alec. That's all I'm gonna say. But I am gonna get asked something. Not. I don't want. I like to say. I think I'm ready for Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, I mean, it will be football season pretty soon.
It will be.
Exactly.
We need to take a look at the schedule, figure out if we can go to a game.
That'll be fun.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't mind to go to Kansas City Chiefs game. Maybe Philadelphia.
Oh, well, that's probably not going to happen. But the Chiefs we
Philadelphia
can make
game
happen.
for sure.
But maybe we could go to a Chiefs-Eagles game, and maybe Jared will come see us since he hated you when you came to see him. And
I don't
wasn't
even think
there.
he really lives in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's a liar. Jared. Philly Jared? What should we even refer to you as?
Maybe he really lives in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Maybe he lives on Mars. Could be.
Or Boston. That's where he said he was that weekend. All right. Well, that's
Maybe
all we
that.
have time for today. Thanks for listening to our chaos. Another chaotic episode of Baker's Bantering.
I feel like Mom keeps us a little bit more tame. I
Yeah.
feel like without Mom, it was a little wild today.
Were we nice to each other at all?
Well,
He wasn't nice to me, that's for sure.
There was some
That's true.
animosity going around the day
Well,
for sure.
I was
Yeah.
nice. We were nice to each other.
Yeah. Katie and I love each other.
let's just say
Derek
this-
likes Tess O'Malley better than us.
Let's just say this is our good moment.
All right.
Oh, this is the good
Nice.
moment of the
This
day.
is the moment.
end.
We did hold his hand earlier.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys did.
They do. Derek, she does have to drive you to softball practice after this.
Yeah.
So you better
Yeah.
be nice to her.
And it starts in 8.5 minutes.
Well, that's good news.
Oh, well, good to go.
Practice-
Okay.
practice starts.
Okay, well, all the more reason to wrap up. All right, that's all we have time for today. Catch us on Thursday for the weekly wrestling wrap
That's
up.
right.
Thanks for listening. Like, share.
Subscribe.
And
Leave
let
us
us never get
leave us a good
more
review.
good wrestling prediction.
Wrestling predictions are on the subscriptions on Instagram. If you're still here, we'd love for you to buy our merch. You can find it on bakerbanter.com. We're on Cameo as well if you need a birthday present for anyone in your life who is a fan of Derek.
That also Father's Day is coming up.
Father's Day is coming up, but by the time this podcast come out, it will be over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we have time for today. We'll talk to you next time.
Follow us on all the
That's
socials
right.
at Baker Banter.
Peace.